Atlanta match recap, 3 crowns, a team of the week shout out, listener questions, and a poll, and looking forward to Austin at home. All that and more coming up on Boot Room 801. Welcome back to the Boot Room, everyone. My name is Giles, and I'm joined as always by my co-host and wife, Kayla.
Hello.
And we have a fun match to go over today, so Kayla, why don't you go ahead and get us started with the recap?
It sure was a fun one. It was one of the best to watch. No, it was really fun to watch. We came out really strong. We were right on the goals really fast and kept the pressure the whole game. So we were in Atlanta in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It is one of the biggest stadiums that MLS plays in because I think it's also the Falcons Stadium.
Yes, it is.
So it's intimidating to play in. And Pablo mentioned that last week.
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of an intimidating stadium to play in. Giles and I, pretty optimistic that we were going to win because we have a much better record than Atlanta does right now. So that was promising. Started off really strong within the first 10 minutes. Giles had a shot on goal. It hit the crossbar. And then it pretty soon after had a shot that was inches away. That was really, really promising to see was Giles. And just after the 20th minute, in the 24th minute, Giles was able to get the ball deep in RSL's half, but then he was able to see the passing lane and pass it straight to Solans, and Solans was able to beat the defenseman and get his first ever professional goal. Oh, and Giles and Solans also started. It was their first MLS starts, so that was pretty cool. And then literally 3 minutes later, Aiden Hezerkani was able to take 2 touches from a pass from Solans and get it into the net. So we were up 2-0 within the first 30 minutes. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, there was a really good build-up, and that through ball from Giles to set up Solans for that goal, it was just perfectly weighted, and just the maturity of Solans to deal with the defender that was on him and then to beat the keeper at the same time. That was awesome. And it was almost a mirror image of the through ball that Giles gave to Sergi in the home opener as well. It was a very similar setup. So it was nice to see it pay off.
Yeah.
And not go just wide by inches. So
for sure.
Congrats to Sergi on that goal and that fun celebration that he had afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned it in the interview after the game that little guitar celebration was a nod to his friends back from his hometown. So that was a fun little personal moment to see in this game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, before the half ended, Atlanta did score. Alexei Miranchuk was able to get a goal, so it was 2-1. But then literally 2 minutes later, Quentin's able to push a ball upfield to Gozo. And Gozo's able to just run the ball and get it right behind the keeper. It was another beautiful, just in the corner.
Yeah, and just coming off of his
left foot, which is his off foot.
Oh, it was so good.
But he said that he's been practicing that a lot, which is nice.
Yeah.
So the first half, we ended 3-1. We were able to keep that all the way to the 74th minute when Miranchuk was able to get another one. So he had a brace. So that's how the game ended up ending with the score was 3-2. Pretty cool. We were able to this is our first 3-goal half. First half since April 20th of 2024. And our first 3-goal half overall since July 6th, which was also against Atlanta. That was at home.
That was the game after Luna got the Olympic snub.
Yeah, and so he was like, fine, watch me. But yeah, so that was really cool to see. At the half, Moisa did come off and Griffin Dillon came on. So Griffin Dillon made his MLS debut.
Congrats to Griffin Dillon.
Another RSL Academy.
And another Utah
product. Mm-hmm. So pretty awesome. Moisa did have a yellow card in the first half, so I think that was a little bit of
that was probably
cautionary.
A contributing factor.
Yeah. Philip Quinton did go down in the 85th minute. Just a little bit. It looked like it was just some cramping in his hamstring, so Junka did come on. Hopefully that's not going to be a long-term injury.
And we did see PQ on like modified training.
Yeah.
So he may be rehabbed by Saturday, but it could just be precautionary that they're just trying to ease him back into this week, and he might be back to full training tomorrow.
It
So,
is really nice that we have so much depth in all of our positions right now, so we're not like freaking out.
yeah, it's nice to be able to have some
Breathing room.
precautionary, like take a second, evaluate yourself. We're not panicking.
Yeah.
As of recording this, which is Tuesday night, he was on modified training. So we'll see how that goes for the rest of this week in subsequent training sessions.
So that brings us for after match day 3. Our record is 2-1-0. So we have 6 points on the board, which is pretty awesome. That also means that if we score first this season, we are 2-0. So we just got to keep scoring first.
You know, I'm always up for that. I always love to see RSL score first. It was interesting to note that this improves the overall stats from scoring first to 48, 10, and 18 under Pablo Mastroeni, so in his whole tenure. So when scoring first, you're far more likely to win.
Yeah.
If we can keep that going, which with this new core of players, it seems to be more attainable, than it was last season. Last season, it was a struggle to get balls in the back of the net.
It's also nice to see that we have so many goal scorers and so many possible goal scorers. Last year, we had quite a few people, or I think we had decent amount that had goals, but they only had 1. Whereas like Aiden's already got 2.
And shout out to Aiden for having 2 goals in 2 goals in 2 games, but he has 2 goals in 5 professional matches. So he's only played in 5 MLS matches in his career, and he's scored in 2 of them. So shout out to him.
Yeah, it's very promising. I think we saw a lot from Salons, and we saw a lot from Gilavogi, a lot of potential, and I think that we'll see a lot more scoring from him.
Yeah, it was cool to see in this game another start with 4 Academy products. We see Hezarkhani get his back-to-back goals. We see Gozo continuing on this awesome march that he's been on and scoring that left-footed goal and showing that he has that in his arsenal, which is great, especially going into the World Cup year.
Yeah.
And Solon's announcing himself with his first MLS start and his first MLS goal.
Yeah.
It's really easy to see right now. The young guys are stepping up. RSL's Academy is doing well to prepare these new players. And then for players like Solons who didn't come through the Academy, that's encouraging to me to see the front office and the recruiting finding these players.
Yeah.
And finding Sergi from the Super Draft, seeing how he played at UCLA, and then finding a way to slot him into the RSL squad this year.
We've seen that a few times with the Super Draft with players on our team, such as Salons, Jesus Barea, Noel Kalaskan, Emeka Anelli. All of them were from the Super Draft. And you look like throughout the MLS, some notable ones is like Tim Ream. Tim Ream was a college player.
Yeah. And sometimes you hit with the Super Drafts and sometimes you don't. Sometimes it works out like I was really sad to see how it played out with Matthew Bell, where he got really like 1 game.
If that, yeah.
Yeah, I think he played he was subbed in a match last year, and then we just never heard from him again, and then he was released at the end of the season. So that was sad to see, because he was our first overall pick in the Super Draft when we picked him up. But it is nice to see players like Jesus Barea, who's done really well with the Monarchs. He's done really well in training. So hit on him. Hit on Sergi Salons for sure. He is he's a starting caliber player now. I'm so impressed with him. I'm very, very happy. But then we also saw Morgan get his first start. So that was, for me, very encouraging, because I love Morgan Gilavogi. I like
Morgan stands over here.
I liked his initial like announcement, I was like, oh, that's a good pickup. And then the more I've learned about him, the more I'm just like, okay, I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. I like how he plays. I like him as a person.
Mm-hmm.
He comes across very friendly when you are able to interact with
He's
him in
very
person.
approachable.
But then you see the way that he plays, and he is such an asset. The man plays like he's got eyes on the back of his head. In training today, we were watching him making passes that just had no reason to be thought to like be
Mm-hmm.
possible.
Mm-hmm.
But Morgan could see the lane and just go, oh, here you go. And pass to Gozo and into the net.
Mm-hmm.
On another drill, pass to Sergi into the net.
Pass to Booth.
Pass to Booth, and then a pass from Booth back to Morgan and into the back of the net.
Mm-hmm.
He sets up these plays so well. I'm so excited to see how this continues to go. And we saw multiple close chances by Gilavogi in this game in Atlanta where
Mm-hmm.
he missed by a matter of inches, as opposed to our previous DPs who would miss by yards or miss by feet.
Or miles.
Gilavogi misses by inches,
Mm-hmm.
which means that there's a universe where that goes in.
Mm-hmm.
If we keep getting him those good reps,
Mm-hmm.
those shots are going to go in. So
Mhm.
I think he's going to get a high goal count, and I feel justified in predicting him as the Golden Boot winner for the club. So I'm very encouraged, and I feel like I made a good pick with him, and he's going to keep producing those
Mhm.
results.
The other thing that's interesting to note with him is the passing on the field from everyone goes up because of him. Because he's so good at seeing where to go. He can be almost like a spoke in a wheel and be able to kind of be that through line, or he can be the end result. And so he's just so flexible.
I really love seeing a player that is
Mm-hmm.
versatile like that. And I'm very excited to see so many of them on our squad this year, where we have Gilavogi who plays that way, where he's very versatile. We see Gozo being very versatile, playing in a new position. And then we see other players shifting and adapting as the play adapts. And I'm very excited by that. And then seeing it in training too, like Stein Spearings is so good at that. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, for sure. So, because we've had such a great start for the season, and also because Giles and I are very positive people, anyways, we've decided to adjust the way that we've done Kings and Fools. So, instead of doing a Fool's Moment, we're just going to do the 3 crowns. So, we're going to rename it to our 3 crowns for the week. Do you want to start with your 3 crowns?
Yeah, my 3 crowns for this week. I'm gonna start off with, and I don't think anyone will be surprised. It's gonna be with Morgan Gilavogi. He is my guy this year. I am so high on him. I love the way that he plays because he plays the kind of soccer that I like to watch and the soccer that I like to emulate in video games or whatever. I love a player that can just put a perfectly weighted through ball or capitalize on one.
Yeah.
Like, I love that kind of offensive Swiss Army knife of a player. And I love Gilavogi. I love the way that he plays. I love everything about it. I can't say it enough. So that's my first crown.
And seeing how many starts, how many like close calls he had, like we've been talking about,
Yeah, just those close
is
chances.
so promising for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and so my second crown also going to be an offensive player. It's going to go to Xavier Gozo. No question in my mind that he deserves that. He scored the game-winning goal. He kept the momentum going. We really saw his form continue to progress, building on the momentum from the Seattle match, and then getting a back-to-back great performance.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love seeing that from him. And I love that he plays at this high caliber level that it's easy to forget that he's 18.
Mm-hmm.
He's so poised on the ball, and he plays like he believes that he belongs there. And it's good that he has that belief because he does belong there.
And he's proving it too.
Yeah, he's proven it time and time again. And it's really nice to see that he believes it himself. Because it's one thing when everyone's telling him like, oh yeah, you're great. You belong. It's whatever. But when he really believes it internally, you can see it.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe is translating into these awesome moments, because he has such a great support system around him that he's talked about. And he's such a humble kid too. And I think that that really plays a role into it.
Mm-hmm.
But my third crown is going to go not to an offensive player. It's going to go to Luka Moisa.
Mm.
But it's going to Luka Moisa because of the way that he has stepped up in the midfield. And yes, if you pick the game apart, you can find small moments where there were mistakes. But you're going to find that from any player. Like, if you just looked at his numbers and looked at his performance based off of, like, if you weren't able to see him, you would assume that he is a much more seasoned player.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact that he is 17, stepping up in this way, it's really incredible. I just really like Luka. I think he's going to be a fantastic asset as we go forward.
Mm-hmm.
He may not be scoring goals like Aiden Hazarkani or Gozo, but he is making big plays, and he's not afraid to step up against these veteran players.
Oh, yeah.
And even though he may lack in physical size, he doesn't show it. He is not afraid to step up and make a good challenge. So he is my third crown of the game.
His tenacity in his size reminds me a lot of Diego Luna.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's scrappy. He's willing to just get in it.
Yeah.
And so that's really cool to see.
So who are your three crowns?
My first crown is to Sergi Salons because he got his first MLS goal, his first professional goal.
Good pick.
His first, like, he just did so well. And he was the one that, like, got the goal to Hazarkani to get on the chest to get to the goal. He's got a hockey assist in my mind. But he just did so well. And it's well deserved. My second one is also Morgan Gilavogi, which we also forgot to say today is his birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Gilavogi.
Happy birthday in the Sims house. We love you. And I'm sure the rest of RSL Nation will agree with us.
Yeah. Kind of the same thing. I'm going to say ditto. He just was really pressing the ball and moving it forward and getting a lot of challenges and being just so exciting to watch. Mm-hmm. And it makes me excited for the rest of the season.
Yeah, he's a very dynamic player and fun to watch.
Yeah. And then my third one is going to be a bit of a surprise. I'm going to say Philip Quinton.
Really?
Yeah. I know he made a little bit of a mistake in the first goal, but he rallied and he came back and he made some good saves in the defense. He made some good tackles in the defense.
And he got an assist.
And he got an assist as a center back. So I love Philip. I think that he doesn't get enough credit.
Isn't that 2 assists in 2 games now for him? Didn't he get an assist in
Let's look at
our
FOTMob.
last game?
Let me take a look.
Yeah, because that's worth checking, because that's something that should be recognized. Because, I mean, I think he's a very underrated player because he does have like some moments that could be considered breakdowns. Maybe he got a hockey assist in that.
He did. He got a hockey assist. He did that long ball.
That's what it
was. Up
was.
to Gozo, then Gozo to Peel.
That's what it was. Okay,
yeah.
So
he's getting a lot of, I don't know, he's in there. So I hope he has a speedy recovery. And I am a Philip Quinton fan. I think he did great. Too. I think he's underrated. And I think that I'm sticking to my crown.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's a good player. I think he's a good pickup, and especially for like
when it happened where we were like desperate.
Yeah.
And he stood up and like held his own really well.
Yeah. And you know, as the year progresses, I think we'll see more of PQ settling into that role. Mm-hmm. And as he and Luka play together, they're gonna really, I think that's gonna be a good link from the center back into the midfield.
Huh.
And you know, they're
I mean, they have the same moppy hair.
But if you see like that breakdown on that goal, it's a communication issue between Luka Moisa and Philip Quinton of leaving. Oh, now I'm gonna forget his name.
Marachek.
Yeah, Maranchik. Leaving him open.
Mm-hmm.
But if that gets tightened up just a little bit,
mm-hmm.
then that goal doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
So as they gel a little bit more, I think we'll see a lot of those opportunities being protected and we won't see the shot get off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like PQ.
Mm-hmm.
PQ and Luca, I think, are going to be a very dynamic pair. Like I said, that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah.
But we have another honor to discuss. So we have our crowns given out, but Major League Soccer also has their honor that they do every week. They have the team of the match week. And for the second week in a row, we see Xavier Gozo. And this time, last week he was on the bench for the team of the match week, with Cabral being on the starting 11.
Yeah.
This week, we see Gozo in the starting 11.
Yeah.
Weirdly, as a right center back. Or
Yeah, that
not
was
a right
weird.
center back, a right back. So
Yeah.
they're playing with the formation a little bit, and it's a little bit off, but hey, they're giving Gozo the respect he deserves, so
Yeah.
I will take it. And he really does deserve that. He deserves every honor that he's getting and more. And my hot take on Gozo is I think that he should be getting a look for the World Cup team. Maybe not as a starter, but perhaps as off the bench or maybe an injured alternate.
That would be interesting.
I think that he's more than proved himself worthy of that kind of a nod.
Yeah.
And I think that Gozo and players like him are the future of American soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Gozo is going to be one of those leaders going into that next generation.
Child.
Yeah. He's going to be his generation of the national team. He's going to be like the Christian Pulisic of his time.
Yeah.
So, and then pairing with Diego Luna as kind of the bridge between those two generations. I think that's going to be a really fun era of the national team.
Yeah.
Of having, like, when Luna is the more veteran, like in his mid to late 20s, and then Gozo coming into like the peak of his career too. I think that's going to be a really fun time. Whatever World Cup hits in that that timetable, that's going to be a really scary American team.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. I think that Gozo deserves all that and more, and I'm really excited for him.
In the spirit of recapping this, like this overall match and everything, we put it out to you guys, and we asked what you were most encouraged about from this last match. So we sent out a poll saying what was the most encouraging sign from the last match. And the options were the young players, the fight and the energy, the team shape, or individual quality. And I think the results speak to what the club is trying to build. Because we didn't have anyone responding back with individual quality, which we all know we have. Like RSL has great individual quality players, but the strength, it goes back to that constant running theme of the team as the star. We had 15% say it was the team shape, 30% said it was the fight and energy, and then 55% said that it was the young players. So there was a lot of acknowledgement towards the academy and what's being built there, and that alignment from the academy level, Monarchs level, RSL level, it's all paying off.
Yeah. Well, and if anyone, for those of you who don't know, Utah Soccer does say, or like their motto this year and going forward is winning together through development. And so this team emulates that perfectly. And these results speak for themselves because they have the same system from the academy to the Monarchs to the first team. So it's not as complicated to learn or as daunting to be able to get to the first team because you're doing the same drills, the same energy, the same philosophy throughout the entirety of Utah Soccer.
So thank you for everyone who responded. If you want to get in on these polls that we put out, we put them out on X, so you can find us there at Bootroom801 on X. We also will put them out on Instagram, also Bootroom801 there. Highly recommend you go and get in on those because we love to see your opinions and we love for you to weigh in. You can also send in any questions that you have through those channels, or you can go through bootroom801.com and send in questions.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of, we have a question that came through today. We'll go ahead and get to that one. This one was about the lineup and how we're coming back from injuries, and it says, in your guys' opinion, when everyone is healthy, do you keep playing the kids, or do you instantly bring back the projected starters from the beginning of the season? And Kayla, what do you think?
Well, or someone asked this question to Pablo today as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what Pablo said, where he's like, you want the young kids to get excited and to get the experience, but you also don't want to burn them out, and you don't want them to get too excited or too overwhelmed.
Or put too high of expectations.
Yeah,
on
exactly. And so I think that there is going to be a very healthy rotation between the young guys and the experienced players and those starting players that we're expecting. But that's the beauty of this team, is there's so much depth that we can do that.
Yeah.
And especially in the second half of the season after the World Cup, where it's a pretty condensed season after that. We're going to need that rotation. And so to know that we can trust the rotation, it's not going to be like, oh, there's the B team, they're not going to do as well. We've seen them do well this time.
Mm-hmm. And it's almost like this squad doesn't have a B team. It's more like what Pablo said is everybody in the squad has their fingerprints on the result, whether they're in the 20 on match day or not. They're contributing at every level, whether that's in the practices or in training or supporting their teammates. Those contributions from those players is something that is helping to gel this team together and solidify it. But I also agree with what Pablo said of when we have these players doing so well, there's not the urgency to bring back the injured players as fast as possible. So we're going to be able to ease Victor and ease Luna into the starting 11.
Well, and then that way they'll be fully healed. We're not pushing injuries. We're not pushing that because we have the depth, which is really really
so
promising.
We're preventing further injury and keeping the momentum going. And he even mentioned putting some of these guys into the Monarchs to get their fitness back up in a lower pressure environment, so we can have the healthiest team possible. So I think that's the smarter approach. Is to ease them back in with 10-15 minutes at a time, work that back in, and then as they are working their way back into their starting positions, we need to also keep our young guys sharp
and healthy.
And so they're going to need to be stepping up in the Monarchs. Really, it's going to be, I think, a rising tide raises all boats in this case. And we're going to see the Monarchs doing very well because they have an awesome group of young players who are going to be kind of floating between the Monarchs and the first team. Those players who don't make the 20 on match day just because of maybe tactically we need a certain combination of players. So as those adjustments are made, we can see like different combinations of players coming through and avoiding those injuries and keeping the momentum going. And I feel so confident that we have players who can step up in that way.
Which, shout out to Monarchs last week, because last week they got their highest away game score with 5-0 against SKC. So that was pretty awesome. Or SKC 2. So that was pretty awesome for them.
Some of those goals were incredible. And speaking of the Monarchs, we've talked about them a little bit. Let's give them some love and show them some support. If you want to see tomorrow's RSL stars today, you can see players who are going to be the next Aiden Hezarkhani, the next Xavier Gozo, the next Luca Moisa. You can see them playing with the Monarchs. This Sunday, they're going to be playing
at 3:30.
At 3:30, it's going to be at America First Field, and
nice.
It is free of charge.
Oh, awesome.
So if you want to go and see some free football
in a good stadium,
let's go out and show some support for our Monarchs boys. and really show them that the community rallies around them. And let's keep building this. We have so much good momentum with RSL. Let's share some of that love to the Monarchs, and let's grow this club that we love. Show them the support. Let's get the Monarchs games as well attended as the RSL games.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be so cool if we could get to that point.
It also prepares those Monarch players to be first team players, because they're not going to be as starstruck or as nervous in a big crowd, because they're already playing to a big crowd.
And you always play differently when there is a crowd there and when there are people cheering. So let's go get them that experience.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about it. I want to build the sport in this state. I want the Monarchs well attended. I want the Royals more well attended as well. I believe they're away this week.
Yes, they are. Their opener is next week.
Everybody mark that one on your calendars.
And we'll double check the time in next week's episode.
Yeah, and we'll make sure to put that out on social media as well. So another reason to follow us on X, on Instagram, Facebook, all of those. We'll get those updates out so that you can be informed and we can show support for our young guys and for our girls, because they definitely deserve it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a fun year to watch the Royals. The same spirit and same energy that is permeating through RSL is permeating through the Royals. So it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a fun season. It'll be a fun time to be in the stands. It's a good time to be a fan. And if you haven't given them a chance yet, if you haven't explored into women's soccer, this is the time to do it. Get in on the ground floor. They've had a couple seasons to work the kinks out. This is going to be a fantastic year to jump in. So please jump in. I'll get off my soapbox.
You're fine. Speaking of other things that are happening this weekend, Saturday we do have our next game for Real Salt Lake on Saturday at 7:30 at America First Field here in Utah. It's going to be, I just said 7:30. It's going to be against Austin FC, who has 2 wins. No, just kidding. We have 2 wins. They have 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss.
And so their loss was a bad one.
Their loss was a bad one. They had a red card.
Road game.
It was their first road game, and they had a red card.
In like the 26th minute or something. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, so we won't be seeing that player. They have
hero.
4 points on the table, so they are 3 seats below us.
Historically, we're good against them.
Yes, especially at home.
Yeah, in the last 11 matchups with them, we've got 5 wins, 3 draws, and they've got 3 wins. And the last time we faced off against them, I believe, was in Austin. Let me double check that. No, it was here. And it was a 3-1 win for us with Ojeda, Yedlin, and Olatunji scoring.
Those are wild people to be scoring for Ojeda and Yedlin, at least.
Yeah, and that was I think one of Yedlin's earlier games. So it was a really good showing for him, and it would have been an early game for Olatunji as well.
Yeah.
So last year we tied them once, and then we beat them once. So now we're going to be hoping to take another win.
And the tie was away in Austin, so we know that the win is much more doable here in Sandy. I think that we have a good shot.
So with a match coming up on Saturday, brings us to predictions. So Kayla, why don't you get us started? What are your predictions for this game?
I think it's going to be a 2-0 win, because I want Cabral to get a shutout.
Shutouts at home are fun.
Shutouts at home are even easier and better and more fun. So I'm saying 2-0. I think that Gilavogi will hopefully get his first goal. And my wild card prediction is that I think that Luna and Olatunji are going to have minutes, but they're not going to be starting.
Yeah, I would kind of say the same thing.
Because they were pretty intense in practice today. So they were like full practice,
full training,
no restrictions or anything. So that was really, really promising to see.
Olatunji was rocking the goggles. A lot of safety equipment tends to look a little goofy. Olatunji did not look goofy in his safety goggles.
He looks like a superhero.
He really does. He looks like a superhero or Gordy LaForge from Star Trek. Like, but kind of more the superhero because he just looks cool. And maybe that's just the Olatunji effect because he just always looks cool. Just has that era about him. But I don't know, watching him play. But if I looked up and saw this 6'4" man on the field, and I'm not that tall, I'm 5'11", 5'11"
Seeing
and
a
3/4 on a
6'4"
good day wearing boots. If I look up and I see this 6'4" man with the dreadlocks and the goggles that he's wearing, and he's looking at me, and he just has like that intense air about him. If I look up and I see that, for me, I'm not gonna challenge that guy as hard because like he's physically intimidating, and I love that in a player,
Especially a striker.
I love that because he's just like people think twice about like squaring off against such an intimidating face, such an intimidating presence. So when he's in the box and a ball is coming towards him, unless you have a very brave defender, they might hold off a little bit. So
I think that you should make a shirt that has him as a superhero that just says V-Man.
we'll get a V-Man shirt out there.
Yep, that's my next thing for you. Anyway, so those are my predictions. What about you?
I am also on the air of positivity here, and I think we've got some good momentum going. And seeing the guys in training, there was a lot of focus being placed on the weak areas from the Atlanta game, where we did see kind of a let up in the second half, where there wasn't as much pressure and there was a lot of kind of reactionary defending. I think that is going to be addressed going into this, and they are going to be missing a strong player from their lineup. So I'm going to say it's going to be a 3-0 win.
Ooh.
I also want Cabral to get a clean sheet.
An at-home clean sheet.
But I think this is the game to do it. I don't think that they have the bite in their offense to really capitalize on anything there. And they historically don't perform well in Sandy. This is kind of the same way that we historically don't perform well in Texas in the summer when it's not summer temperatures here in Sandy. The Texas teams don't tend to perform very well. They tend to have, I think, a difficult time adjusting to the altitude and the cold.
Which Saturday, the high is only 66 with clouds.
Which for Texas is freezing.
Yeah, which by the time it's 7:30, it's going to be like 50. Which, coming from Texas, being in Texas, that's going to be freezing.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a 3-0 win for RSL over Austin. I don't think they have the bite this year. I think they had a rough they've had a rough go of it so far this year. The 3-1 loss to Charlotte is going to be a little demoralizing for them, especially considering the only goal they got wasn't scored by them. It was an own goal by Charlotte. Charlotte scored all 4 goals in that game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've been there. That's demoralizing. There was that...
It was a Houston
game where we got a consolation goal that was ruled to be an own goal. It's demoralizing. So either they're going to take that as fuel and come out swinging, or they're going to be coming in here with their heads hanging already. So I'm optimistic for a 3-0 win.
I love it. Any other little predictions? Or you feel the same? We're going to have Gila Vogie and we're also going to have Luna and Olatunji.
I'm sick of being teased about the Gila Vogie goal. I want it. I want it so bad. I want Gila Vogie to score. And I think maybe we'll see some minutes from Luna and from Victor. I'm hopeful. I'm also hopeful for minutes from Stein. But we'll see how they progress from injury and progress during training this week. We might just see them on the Monarch squad on Sunday.
Yeah.
So another reason to go out and support the Monarchs.
Yeah.
Give some support to our injured guys who are working their way back. But that's, I think, 3-0 win. I think Gila Vogie gets a goal. Probably Salon's getting another goal.
I like it.
That's my prediction.
It's kind of exciting as we're kind of wrapping up tonight to think that we have 2 wins, 1 at home, 1 away, and 2 pretty decent wins.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's exciting to see, and I'm excited to see where we can go from here. And I think that the team is using that momentum to be productive, and I think we will get a pretty big win.
Mm-hmm. This is just a fun season so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to have the hope. It's fun to see the belief from the squad. It's fun to see the belief from the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun to have a good season start. Hopefully that continues on and we continue to build from this good start. It's a good time to be an RSL fan. It's always a good time to be an RSL fan, but
especially this year.
This year especially.
This year is our year.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's all we've got time for today. So, Kayla, why don't you go ahead and take us out?
Yeah. So don't forget, like we've been talking about, you can find us at bootroom801.com. There you'll have links to all of our social media, and you can even listen to past episodes. You can submit your questions, get to know us a little bit more. Everything's at bootroom801.com. But make sure that you follow all of our social media as well, because you'll be able to get more up-to-date information and know when we're dropping our episodes. And don't forget to follow us on wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Well, thank you everyone for listening and for joining us in the boot room today. As we all know, the best conversations happen in the boot room. So thank you so much, and we will see you all at the match on Saturday, and then again next week in the next episode.
Okay, bye!